Your smartphone probably won't last 5 years. Not because the technology can't handle it, but because someone in a boardroom decided it shouldn't. That printer that stopped working right after the warranty expired? That washing machine that died 2 months after you finished paying it off? That's not bad luck. There's a name for it. It's called planned obsolescence. And once you understand how it works, you'll start seeing it everywhere. Here's the basic idea. Companies design products with a limited lifespan on purpose. They build things to break, wear out, or feel outdated faster than they need to. Why? Because a product that lasts forever is a product you only buy once. And that's terrible for quarterly earnings. I know that sounds a little conspiracy theory-ish. I thought so too when I first heard about it. But this isn't speculation. This is documented business strategy with a history going back almost 100 years. Let me tell you about the Phoebus cartel. In 1924, the biggest light bulb manufacturers in the world got together in Geneva. We're talking companies from the United States, the United Kingdom, Germany, France, and more. And they made a deal. They agreed to limit the lifespan of their light bulbs to 1,000 hours. Now here's the thing. Light bulbs at the time could last way longer. Some early bulbs lasted over 2,500 hours. There's actually a light bulb in a fire station in Livermore, California that's been burning since 1901. It's still on today, but the cartel realized that long-lasting bulbs meant fewer sales, so they literally engineered their products to fail sooner. They fined each other if their bulbs lasted too long. This is the original sin of planned obsolescence, and companies have been perfecting the strategy ever since. Now, there are a few different flavors of this. Let me walk you through them, because they'll help you spot what's happening to your wallet. The first type is what I call designed to fail obsolescence. This is when a product has a physical component that's engineered to break after a certain amount of use. Think about printers. Many inkjet printers have a chip that counts how many pages you've printed. When it hits a certain number, the printer stops working or tells you it needs service, even if the actual printing hardware is fine. Or consider washing machines. Older machines from the 1980s often lasted 15 to 20 years. Today, the average lifespan is closer to 8 to 12 years. Some of that is because modern machines have more electronics that can fail. But some of it is deliberate cost-cutting on parts that manufacturers know will wear out. The second type is software obsolescence. This one's become huge in the last 15 years. Here's how it works. A company releases a software update that's designed for their newest hardware. Your older device can technically run it, but just barely. Everything slows down. Apps take forever to open. The battery drains faster. And suddenly your 3-year-old phone feels ancient. Apple actually admitted to doing this with iPhones back in 2017. They said they were slowing down older phones to protect aging batteries. But they didn't tell customers. They just let people assume their phones were dying and needed to be replaced. Apple ended up paying a settlement of $113 million over it. But that's pocket change when you're selling 200 million phones a year. The third type is psychological obsolescence. This is when nothing is actually wrong with your product. It works perfectly fine, but you feel like you need a new one anyway. Fashion is the obvious example. Nobody needs a new style of jeans every year, but trends make last year's clothes feel outdated. Tech companies have mastered this. They release a new phone model every single year with slightly better cameras and a slightly different design. Your current phone still works, but it looks old. And when you see everyone around you with the new version, you start feeling like you're falling behind. That's not an accident. That's marketing. The fourth type is consumables obsolescence. This is about the stuff you need to keep buying to make a product work. Printer ink is the classic example. Some printers are sold at a loss because the company knows they'll make it back on ink cartridges. And those cartridges are designed with chips that prevent refilling or using third-party alternatives. Razor blades work the same way. The handle is cheap, but the replacement blades cost $15 or $20 for a pack of 4. And the blade design is proprietary, so you can't use a competitor's refills. Now, let's talk about what this actually costs you. The average American household spends about $1,400 a year replacing things that break. Not upgrading by choice, replacing because something stopped working. Over a lifetime, that adds up to serious money. Think about smartphones. The average person keeps a phone for about 2.5 to 3 years before replacing it. A decent smartphone costs between $400 and $1,000. So, over a 20-year period, you're spending somewhere between $3,000 and $8,000 just on phones. If those phones lasted 5 or 6 years instead, you'd cut that spending nearly in half. We're talking thousands of dollars that could go into savings, paying off debt, or literally anything else. And it's not just phones. Appliances, clothes, furniture, electronics. The cumulative cost of buying cheaper things that break versus buying quality things that last can be tens of thousands of dollars over your adult life. Here's where it gets interesting, though. Companies will tell you this is just how markets work. Consumers want cheap products, so manufacturers cut costs. Lower prices require lower quality materials. It's supply and demand. And honestly, there's some truth to that. If you had to choose between a blender that costs $40 and lasts 3 years versus one that costs $150 and lasts 15 years, a lot of people pick the $40 option. Even though the math favors the expensive one, the upfront cost is hard to swallow. But companies exploit this. They know most people make buying decisions based on sticker price, not total cost of ownership. So they optimize for cheap upfront and expensive over time. It's a business model built on us being bad at long-term math. So, what can you actually do about this? First, think in terms of cost per year instead of purchase price. If a pair of boots costs $80 and lasts 2 years, that's $40 per year. If a better pair costs $200 but lasts 8 years, that's $25 per year. The expensive boots are actually cheaper. Train yourself to do this math before you buy. Second, look for repair-friendly products. Some companies make products that are designed to be fixed. Others glue everything together and make it impossible to replace a battery or swap a broken screen. Before you buy something expensive, search for repair guides online. If nobody can fix it, that's a red flag. Third, check out the right to repair movement. This is a growing push to force manufacturers to provide repair manuals, sell spare parts to consumers, and stop locking down products with software. Several states have passed right to repair laws in the last few years. When you support companies that embrace repair, you're voting with your wallet. Fourth, resist the upgrade cycle for phones and computers. Unless you need specific features for work, a 3 or 4-year-old device is probably fine. Put your phone in a good case, replace the battery when it degrades, and ignore the marketing that tells you the new model is revolutionary. Fifth, consider refurbished products. Phones, laptops, and appliances that have been professionally restored can work just as well as new ones for 30 to 50% less. It's not glamorous, but your bank account won't care. Sixth, and this one's harder, buy less stuff overall. Planned obsolescence only works if we keep buying. Every time you resist an unnecessary purchase, you're opting out of the cycle. I know that sounds preachy, but it's genuinely the most powerful move you can make. Here's the uncomfortable truth. We live in an economic system that depends on consumption. Companies need us to keep buying. If everyone's refrigerator lasted 30 years, refrigerator companies would struggle. There's a built-in tension between what's good for businesses and what's good for our wallets. You can't change the system overnight, but you can make smarter choices within it. Every purchase is a chance to ask yourself, how long will this last? Can I fix it if it breaks? And is there a more durable option? Planned obsolescence isn't going away, but now you know how to see it. And once you see it, it's a lot harder for companies to catch you off guard. If this video helped you think differently about what you buy, you might like some of our other breakdowns on the hidden costs nobody talks about. Hit subscribe to Like Your 5, and we'll keep explaining the stuff that affects your money without the jargon or the judgment.